Summer vacation's just around the corner. Now I can kick back and relax. I wish. Great, another project. One after another. Man, I wish there could be just some way that I could get back at my teacher. Some petty way that I could maybe turn this project in. But what? What can I do? Wait a minute. I got it! Wait, no? Yes! Come with me!
Okay, so sometime in your life you probably had a teacher who seems really nice and they kind of understand what you're doing and how hard it is to be a student. And other times they could probably contradict all of that by giving you like crap ton of homework. That perfectly describes my history teacher, and towards the end of the school year she assigns this huge assignments to 5 people in a group. We have to make a scrapbook. Now you're probably wondering, how am I gonna pay her back? Well, every scrapbook has a cover and every cover is unique. But how do you make the perfectly unique cover? I'm gonna make mine out of concrete. I need paper. Here's some paper. Here's the design. Let me just leave it right here. It's right there. Okay, cool. So normally scrapbook paper is around 12 and 12 inches, okay? I'm gonna make this cover 13 by 13. In between those two 13 by 13 flaps, you're gonna see a little border line. That's where it's gonna hold the rings to hold the paper. Now that's gonna be around 4 inches. Somewhere over there, you're gonna see some scribble lines. That's gonna be wording. Our history teacher wants us to make this scrapbook about someone, and that someone's gonna be Betty Sue. That's who our character is. Betty Sue. It's kind of ridiculous, but you gotta do what you gotta do. Also in the middle there, you're gonna see a nice little square inside of your square, and that's gonna be 4 by 4 by 4 by 4, and that's 4 dimensions. No, that's gonna be a nice little window in the middle of the scrapbook, so you're gonna like see a little face there. It's gonna be cool. So what first? Well, first. We gotta make a mold. And to make a mold, I kinda need some wood. Now with some wood, I gotta cut it somehow. A saw. That's a saw, but not that kind of saw. I need a table saw. Right here. Now that's what I call a saw. Alright, let's cut some wood. Cue the montage. Alright, so here's the mold that we have here. It's very roughly put together. It's very roughly taped together. And I know, so some people who actually care might actually be asking, why am I making the ends very thin? And I promise you, I have a good answer for that. I'll answer it later. Let's just focus on something else right now. Let's make the picture frame, alright? The thing that goes right around here in the diagram. Now pulling up the diagram again, the frame is around 4 to 4 inches. So what can we use? We can use some scrap wood here. Okay, I'll use this to make a frame. Now this doesn't have to be a perfect frame. It could be a very crude frame because it's a scrapbook. It doesn't have to be perfect. Scrapbooks are cool because there are many imperfect things about it. Plus this is gonna be in the middle of the concrete anyway, so I could adjust what has to be adjusted and fix whatever has to be fixed. It's a scrapbook. Now that is a fine looking frame right there. So earlier I promised that I'll tell you why I'm using these thin strips of wood. Now I'm using these so I could cut these recesses easier so I can put these hinges on. Let me pull up the diagram right here again, and as you can see there are 4 hinges that holds the slabs together. And I'm making these recesses so that I could put this somewhere in the middle of those slabs and maybe have the concrete flow over these holes. Now if this was thick, those holes are going to get covered up and it's not going to be as effective. So I'm going to use this thin piece here, and maybe I'm going to tape over these, and I might tape over this so that the hinges could do their job and hinge. Now, I think the next thing to do is to, see here, put this all together, you know, screw it onto that board there so that concrete doesn't seep out as I'm pouring it in, but that's gonna take a while. So I'm gonna try this trick out. I saw it on YouTube. It was cool. So if I just pour this on here, that didn't work. Let me try it with. Cool. So we have our mold completed, but we can't start pouring the cement yet. See, right down here, it's if we just pour the cement in, like just like that, it might work, but it could also be very brittle. So if, let's say, this part of like the cement were to start cracking, it will immediately or almost immediately start to break off. So to prevent that, we're gonna have to make a mesh. Like, let's say wires. See? Wires that connect from here, making another square on the inside and just like connecting it in a grid. Even when that there is a crack in the cement, the wires are going to keep it there and it's not going to fall apart. So that is what we're going to do right now. Now this is going to take a while, so by the power of editing, I command you, wire mesh. And here's the mesh. So yeah, it's not. It was probably not the best transition. You could probably say it was a meshy transition. But yeah, now with this mesh all done, right there, we could not pour the concrete yet. Not done. I specifically still have to spell out Betty Sue here. So something like that. But when I put the concrete mixture all over like this, it's not going to be looking like that because that's going to be the front cover. It's going to be, you know, the front side, it's going to be where you see the plywood now. So I'm going to have to rearrange it to look like that. Once I put everything together, I'm going to put this mesh back into here. And then I'm going to pour water into here. So then I have a concrete mixture, and then I'm going to put it onto here. I'll be back after I'm all done with that. I think it's self-explanatory. I don't think I have to show anything, and my camera's dying. It's running out of memory. Yeesh, it's been a long, hot day. I think it's been like 6 hours already. Silly me, I forgot a piece of crucial information. So, right here, I moved it. We need some rings here to hold the paper. So, our special candidate and donor of those rings is this binder. So here it is. It's nighttime already, and this is not the prettiest thing in the world. The front cover here is around an inch taller than I like it to be. This isn't perfectly in. The hinges aren't perfectly covered, but hopefully this should still work. Yeah, let's see how this goes. It is bright and morning, everybody. It's been about 2 days since I left off. This is what it looks like all dried now. I'm gonna take the mold off. If everything looks good, I think I'm gonna do glamour shots. Let's see. And of course, we have 2 prongs. A little sneak peek from the glamour shot here. You could see that from the wording, the rock wording, Betty Sue. You can see the T and T and Y and maybe all Sue, but you cannot see the B, E. It doesn't clearly say Betty Sue. And the window here, there's not really a window. You can't really put something here and have a picture stay. So to solve the Betty Sue problem, I'm gonna use this can of spray paint, and for the window problem, I'm gonna use this plastic bottle. Right, let's go. Now for the window, I went around 5x4, a 5x4.5 piece. One of them being a square, exactly 5x4 around there, and the other one, let's call it 5x6. So I'm gonna want a little sliver on the top, so it'll be easier to slip in the picture. You'll see what I mean. Okay, so with this, I would use a staple gun, except I don't know where the staple gun is. So my hope is that a normal stapler will work. Doesn't even pierce through. I need a new plan. See, I could hammer some nails in, but the problem with that is that these nails are way too long, and even if I were to use these nails, I could possibly splinter the wood, or even worse, crack the concrete. That means I need something smaller if I'm going to use something to hammer in. I got it. Thumbtacks. See, thumbtack is usually not too strong, but it's not weak either, so it should work. Let's try this again. Yeah, I could probably slip I could probably slip a photo in there. Yeah, it will work. All right. So the next thing I gotta do now is to paint Betty Sue onto the scrapbook cover, and after that, there's just nothing else really. So back to the glamour shot.